Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, this is gonna be a big one. So before we get into it, please leave me one of these. It shows YouTube and the algorithms that you like this type of content. Because today I'm gonna give you my top 10 best cheapies of all time. This is going to be, do you know how hard it is to narrow it down to just 10? It's literally impossible. So I might do a part 2. Who really knows? But please leave me one of these. Please show YouTube and the algorithms that you really enjoy this video. Starting at number 1, but not in any particular order, is going to be Kenzo. This stuff here is fantastic in my opinion. It is marketed as a men's fragrance, but this easily could be a unisex scent because there is like a floral touch. Now guys, it is not overly floral, but there is going to be that white, like a water lily or like some sort of lotus. That is what adds that floral component, but this is really like an aquatic scent with a little bit of mint, a little bit of citrus, musk, like yuzu, and so on. Just super refreshing. It's like an everyday scent. It's an older fragrance as it came out in 1999, but young folks, this is a timeless classic in my opinion. You know, so if this fragrance is older than you, let's say that you're 16, 17, you easily can wear this, no problem. It's not dated at all. It kind of smells like something that would have been released nowadays, just like more creative, you know, like something that stands on its own, because a lot of the stuff nowadays is just kind of like in some ways redundant when it comes to like the freshies. This is just like a modern day classic. This will never go out of style. This is like white t-shirt and jeans. You could wear this with a suit and tie if you want, but it really just leans more casual than anything, and you're gonna get about 5 to 6 hours at the most. Spring, but more summertime. Another classic is going to be Boucheron's Jaipur Homme. Like this is like a 90s release, like 98, 97 type thing. But oh God, like my father had this, my boomer dad. So for a lot of Gen Xers, this might resonate a little bit more so than the younger guys out there, like the Gen Z or even the millennials. So if you are like a young person, you know, I'm gonna be 47 in a few weeks. If you're a younger guy and you like it, then wear it. This is sexy, but it's classy, okay? So this is gonna have like rose, but there's not a lot of rose to it. There are some florals, but there's also like warm spices. So cinnamon, there's some cardamom, a little bit of citrus in the opening, and there's definitely gonna be like an ambery benzoin. And to my nose, I get like an unlisted vanilla. There is like a vanillic accord to this scent, in my opinion. And as well, just like this one here, is marketed towards the men. Jaipur Homme, right? This, in my opinion, can be a unisex scent as well. I think that this would actually smell sexy on a woman. Just because of that vanillic accord and like that slight rosy touch, I just think it would do very well on a woman. And I do believe that there is a women's edition. I might be wrong because I don't really do like women's perfumery on this channel, nor do I really look into it. But this is like business casual, sense of style. But if you want to wear it like a little bit more casually, I think like a turtleneck, you know, with like a scarf wrapped around. This is like an extra layer of warmth to your wardrobe because it is a colder season scent. But you can easily wear this with a tuxedo. It's just a phenomenal fragrance that is quite gently. And you know what? Like back then I hated it, but nowadays I just think it's an absolute work of art. This is a masterpiece. And longevity, you're gonna get at least 7 to 8 hours. I get closer to 10. Next one is not really a scent that I personally thoroughly enjoy, but it has to make this type of video because for what you're spending, it's a very versatile fragrance, and this makes everybody's list when it comes to something like this. Burberry Touch. This is like $30 or less. This is a spring and fall scent, but this is actually quite aromatic. It's ozonic, it's musky, and it does smell a little classical in some ways. So you are gonna get violet leaves. That does add that aromatic touch and maybe a little ozonic. Artemisia to add that herbal nuance, which it does add that vintage touch, like the violet leaves and the artemisia, in my opinion, do add that vintage vibe. But there's also musk, there's like cedar or some sort of wood. It's actually vetiver, I just checked my notes, but there's also like tonka bean and so on. I think pepper and nutmeg. There is a slight spicy nuance to it, and this is more of a mature fragrance. Not so much like a young man, but like I'm thinking 30 and up. This will go very well like this or more. You have to have a little bit of a sense of style in order to really pull this one off, in my opinion. But this would actually be a prime like suit and tie fragrance. Even though it's not a fragrance for me, there is some quality to it, and longevity is really no slouch. It's like 7 to 9 hours, more spring and autumn. Fragrance number 4, this one makes everybody's list, and it has to make mine as well. Nautica Voyage. This makes everybody's type of cheapie list, whether it's a spring and summer or this type of video. It just has to. This does have like apple, aquatics, there's like a salty nuance. Some say it's like a salty cucumber, which I could kind of see that. There's musk, amber, cedar, lotus, and so on. It's just a very refreshing, salty, slightly fruity type of scent with a little bit of green tones to it. Fantastic. There's a reason why that this makes everybody's list. This is an ageless fragrance, so someone who's like 10 years old all the way to 100 years old can rock this. It's white t-shirt and jeans. It's just casual. Spring, summertime, longevity, it ranges on some people, but you're gonna get at least 4 hours. So we're gonna say 4 to 6 hours with this one here. Next one, whew, this stuff, phenomenal, work of art, prime fall and winter fragrance. Rochas Mustache EDP. This stuff is beautiful. This does get a lot of comparisons to YSL's Tuxedo, which a lot of people have stated that it's discontinued, but I don't think it is. It's actually still being marketed on the official YSL website. This was a YouTube short like the other day, and people were saying, hey, are you sure it's discontinued? To be honest, I'm really not sure. So I'm gonna have to say no, because if it is on the YSL website, then it's not discontinued, but so many people say it is. This is just a fraction of the price tag. This is vanilla, it's amber, it's warm spices, a little bit of rose, patchouli, and voila. It is gorgeous. This is a gentleman's fragrance, but in my opinion, it also has a little bit of a unisex vibe. So Rochas Mustache, in my opinion, really can be like a lady scent as well. Just because of that ambery benzoin and that vanillic accord. Really, the sweetness in this just femmes it up a little bit. There is a powdery undertone, and this stuff here is just fantastic. Suit and tie, tuxedo. If you're gonna dress it casually, you can dress it like this, but like this will go very well with like a turtleneck. And like this, again, just like this one here, this is like another layer of warmth to your wardrobe when it's like cold outside. And longevity, this ranges anywhere from like 9, 10 plus hours. So it definitely has great performance. Next one, this is just a classic. It is a little vintage, but for the price tag, and I recently heard, don't know how true it is, that is discontinued. So if that is true, get on it now before the price tag gets jacked up. Davidoff Xenom. So this is like a 1988 release, or this is an older scent. I think it came out in the 80s, possibly the early 90s, but it does have that old school DNA vibe. Yet at the same time, this does get comparisons to Tom Ford's Beau de Jour. I have to agree with a lot of people. Some people will disagree with me, and that's okay. But this definitely does have that Tom Ford Beau de Jour vibe. This is classical, but it's modern. It is a fougere, so there is lavender, there is clary sage, there's a little bit of rose, there's like Brazilian rosewood or something like that, patchouli, jasmine, and so on. Just a very gently type of fragrance. This is more so for an old-fashioned kind of guy. So if you're a young person who likes it, then you kind of have like some old-fashioned values. You're a little like traditional in some ways, because that's what, in my opinion, this fragrance is. This is not for everybody. Not even for like guys my age. This is not gonna appeal to even like everybody. It's not exactly the most mass appealing fragrance, but it's actually not that bad. In longevity, this ranges anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, and it's a prime fall and winter fragrance, and I do think that early stages of spring when it's still cold out. Next fragrance makes countless lists, and I mean countless lists, and this got a lot of hype from Jeremy Fragrance back in the day. Perry Ellis 360 Red. This is pretty much Acqua di Gio from Armani with spices. That's what it pretty much is. There's loads of citruses, so there's like grapefruit, bergamot. There's definitely the lime with a lot of spices. So like cinnamon, nutmeg, coriander. There's definitely the lavender, some musk, some patchouli, and a little bit more going on. So if it wasn't for like the patchouli, the vetiver, and I believe maybe some like other woods, this wouldn't last more than 2 hours. Longevity off this is not great to begin with. You're gonna get about 4 to 6 hours at the most, but for like $30 or less, you really can't complain. So if you're looking for something that's very close to Acqua di Gio with a little bit of an edge with that spice, this is one that you definitely have to look into, and this is spring and summertime, casually, but definitely can be worn to work. Next one, boy, this, a lot of people think that Jeremy is the one that hyped this one up. I was the original hype man, believe it or not. I don't care if you believe me, but really, I was, because I plugged this shit hard back in 2015. Ferragamo F Black. This fragrance is not for everybody, as the pepper in this can be very powerful in the opening, can overpower you really. So it's a very spicy scent with the black pepper, but as well the coriander. There's also some green apple that does like kind of like tone down that spicy nuance, along with the lavender. The lavender freshens it up. The green apple is what adds that sweet fruity nuance. I believe that there's some tonka to this one here, as well, like an ambery labdanum or benzoin. Just a great scent for the fall and wintertime. It's masculine, it's classy, but at the same time does have a bit of a bad boy feel. So I do think that you can wear this with a white t-shirt and jeans. Generally when I say like black leather jacket or just leather jacket, I say black t-shirt. But this, the juice is not gonna stain the white tee. So you can actually wear this with a white tee, but as well all the way to a tuxedo. Formal, casual, every day, and longevity is about 6 to 7 hours. Fragrance number 9, this one makes everybody's list, and for good reason. It's one of the best bang for your buck cheapies out there, and it's an older scent that came out in 1988. So you might already know what it is, Davidoff Cool Water. This is green, it's aromatic, it's fougere, so there's definitely a lot of citruses to this one here. There's some like neroli, some musk, some seawater, some mint. This is like a salty marine citrus, musky type of fragrance that's quite green and aromatic. There is a little bit of woods to it with like some cedar. Apparently like there's ambergris to it. This is a modern day classic in my opinion. Yes, it does smell a little vintage, but this will never, and I mean ever, go out of style. So young people, you can actually rock this no problemo. So chances are you might think that this is a little like old school, but if you're 15, 16, you could rock this no problem. Your dad might even have a bottle of this in his collection. So just spray it, just try it out. If you like it, then wear it. But again, just a modern day classic. And this gets a lot of comparisons to Creed's Green Irish Tweed. I love. That one is done better, like is better blended than this one here. But for under like 25 bucks, you really can't complain. This is spring, summertime, it's everyday wear. But for me, this is a great office fragrance with about 6 to 7 hours of longevity. And last but not least, this is great bang for your buck with incredible longevity. I'm talking like 10 plus hours for the fall and wintertime. It's not for everybody. This is a man's man type of fragrance that I really do enjoy. Bentley For Men Absolute. Everybody talks about Bentley For Men Intense. Great scent, not for everybody, including this one here. I prefer this one over that one. It's been a few years since I smelt it, but this one here I've always loved. This is very ambery with warm spices. I believe that there's a little bit of oud to this one here, which really, I don't get oud. I do get a lot of woods though. A lot of woods, a lot of amber, a lot of warm spices, and there is a resinous feel to it as well. So pink pepper, ginger, there's like olibanum, papyrus, so on. But what this pretty much is, and a lot of people are gonna say no thank you if they haven't smelt it, that this is pretty much like pencil shavings with warm spices and amber. That's what I get. That's what a lot of people get when they describe this. It's just so damn good though. This is like black tea and leather jacket. There is that bad boy mysterious edge to it, but also a very formal gentleman. So tuxedo. Amazing performance. Again, not for everybody, so get your nose on it if you can, instead of just blind buying it, because even like safe blind buys such as this one here might be not to your nose. And 20 bucks is still 20 bucks in the end. It really is. So guys, this one here, if you haven't, do so. It's just phenomenal. 10 out of 10, 5 stars, not hyping it up. It's just that damn good. And guys, that is my top 10 cheapies of all time. I'm more than likely gonna do another video like this, you know, depending on how the views and the likes are there. So again, if you like the very video, leave me one of these, please. It really does help with the channel and the algorithms. Trust me, a lot of stuff that I think is supposed to do well, the algorithms just bury the shit out of it. So YouTube is very frustrating. So guys, any videos that I've done on these fragrances, they will all be down in the description box below. And because that this is a mixed match of both colder season and warmer season, I'm gonna give you one of each. Warm cheapies over here and cold cheapies right here. So I thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.